Good morning students, welcome back to my video. I'm Ms. Manisha. So today we'll be continuing the rest of the phylum which we have left. We have completed 9 phylum up to Echinodermata. Now we are left with 2 phylum, that is Hemichordata and Chordata. And under Chordata we'll be learning 7 different classes of Chordata. Alright, so we will start with number 10 phylum. Hemichordata. Now, as I have told you that whenever you refer to the whenever you go through this content, you need to refer to your textbook always, because the diagrams are given, proper diagrams are given there. Alright, so please refer to your textbook and always keep a notepad with you so that you can note down what you did not understand and later on you can ask me. Alright, so please do that and then you begin watching the content. Now, Hemichordata, it was earlier considered under the subphylum. It was considered under the Hemichordata was labeled as subphylum of Chordata. Okay, so it was under Chordata. So later on, it was removed from Chordata. Chordata means organism those who have backbone and not a cord. Okay, so whereas Hemichordata, it does not have this backbone, so that's why it was later on removed from the subphylum of the chordates. Alright, and now what was the reason why it was put under the subphylum of chordates? Later on it was removed. Okay, earlier it was labeled as subphylum of chordates, later on it was removed. Now what was the reason why it was considered under chordates, and the reason why it was removed I have told you, that it did not have the backbone. The Hemichordata, they have rudimentary structure in collar region called stomochord. We have this structure called stomochord, similar to notochord. You can see the diagram from your textbook of phylum Hemichordata. See the diagram. In the diagram, you will see that collar region is there. Okay. So here is the diagram, a rough diagram I can draw. So this is the collar region, and this is head, proboscis, mouth, or head region. The collar region. In this collar region, if you open and see, there is a rod-like structure. Okay, rudimentary means they are functionless. Okay, they are functionless. So this rudimentary structure, which looks like similar to like notochord, which we call stomochord. Okay, this structure inside this collar region looks like a notochord, looks like a backbone. So that's why earlier it was thought that they have backbone, and so that's why they were considered under the chordates. Then later on it was seen that this notochord has no vital function, it's rudimentary. Okay, so since it was rudimentary, it was removed from the chordates. This Hemichordata was removed. Now, how these organisms are and how their habitats are. They are worm-like marine animals. They look like a worm-like marine animals. Okay, and their organization is organ system level. Organ system. They have all the organ coordinating with each other. Bilateral symmetry. Okay, in short, I am writing triploblastic organization, embryonic organization, and coelomate. Now, all the organisms will be organ system, triploblastic, coelomate, because we are going to see the higher group of organisms. Okay, we have already seen the higher group of organisms with this organization, triploblastic ciliate organ system. Okay. Now in chordate, all are higher group of organisms. So the almost every organism have this kind of organization. Okay. Now the body is cylindrical. How is the body type? Here, body is cylindrical, and it has proboscis. While I drew the diagram, I have shown you the mouth part, which that mouth part is known as proboscis. Okay, a collar region and a long tail. Okay, this three part is the part of the body. Now, what is the circulatory system? The circulatory system is open type. Open type, you know, right? Recall it from the previous video. And for respiration, they have gills, as they are aquatic, completely aquatic organisms. So for respiration, they have gills. And for excretion, they have proboscis gland. So here in this mouth part, they have a gland, and that gland removes the waste from their body. Okay, and sexes are separate. That means they are unisexual animal. So they mate with other organism. Hemichordata mates with other Hemichordata, and then they produce the young one. So the fertilization is external, like fish and frog they do. They release the gamete outside in the water medium, and outside the body the fertilization takes place, the external. And development is indirect. Indirect means first egg will form, then larva will form, then adult will form. Metamorphosis stage of life cycle is known as indirect development. Okay. Example of this is balanoglossus, okay, and sacoglossus. These are two examples of Hemichordata, balanoglossus and sacoglossus. Now we'll move to the last phylum, that is the chordate. And under chordate, we'll be studying several classes. How many? 7. Chordata. So chordata is a very huge group of organism, and it includes the higher group of organism. The entire animal kingdom is divided into two categories, that is non-chordates and chordates. Till now, till Hemichordata, from 1 to 10 phylum what we have seen. Number 1 was Porifera. From phylum Porifera to phylum Hemichordata, all are non-chordates. Okay, non-chordates means all these organisms, they don't have backbone. Okay, and other fundamental features which we will see in chordate, it is lacking in the other organisms. Okay, so other organism means till number 10 what we have seen, Hemichordata, from the very first Porifera phylum to Hemichordata, these all organisms are non-chordate. They don't have the fundamental characteristic what the chordates have. Okay, so first we will see the fundamental characters of chordates. Fundamental characters. Number 1, it has notochord, a rod-like structure present in the dorsal region of the body. See, this part of the body is called ventral region, and the back side of the body is called dorsal region. Okay, if a worm, you must have seen a caterpillar or worm moving in the leaf or the ground. So this part, the upper part is the back part, is the dorsal, and this part is the ventral. Okay, so notochord is a rod-like structure which is present in the back side of the body, is known as a notochord. Okay, so this notochord, and it also has dorsal hollow nerve cord. So it is talking about the spinal cord. So our spinal cord is present in a hollow structure. A bone is present which is hollow, and inside that hollow bone we have a nerve cord, and that is the spinal cord. Okay, and that dorsal hollow nerve cord is present in chordates, and a paired pharyngeal gill slits. So paired pharyngeal gill slits means gills you must have seen in fish. Okay, so they a slit-like structure. Suppose this is an organism here. So here is the pharynx region. For example, if we are supposed to have gill slits, then where we will have? We will have here, because here is our pharynx, right? Pharyngeal gill slits. So gill slits which are present in the pharynx region. Okay. So here we will have a gill slit. So likewise, the other animals who are aquatic, they will have their gill slit in the pharynx region. There is a slit, cut. Okay, and through this cut, the airs will move in and out. So these are the fundamental characters which are only present in chordates. So these characters are not found in non-chordates. Still hemichordata, what we have seen, you won't see these characters. Now the other characters of chordata is they are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, coelomate, and obviously it will be organ system level of organization. Okay, and it has post-anal tail. Chordates, they have post-anal tail. So if you look, we are also chordates. Do we have this post-anal tail? So if you see the last bone of our vertebral column, that is our backbone, okay, which is in the pelvic region. Okay, in human skeleton, if you see the last bone of our pelvic region, you will know that bone is known as coccyx. So that bone is a rudimentary bone, okay, which shows that our ancestor had tails. Okay, our ancestor had tail. So this is our last bone of our vertebral column, or our backbone looks like, coccyx we say. So this bone is a proof that we come from the ancestor, and that ancestor had tails. Okay, so in chordates, the organisms, they have post-anal tail behind their body, near their anal region, a tail is present. Okay, and the circulatory system is closed with several chambers in the heart. The chambers can be 2, 3, 4. Okay, it can have 2, 3, 4 number of chambers. Circulatory system is closed. Now we'll see, this chordate has 3 subphylum. It has 3 subphylum. Phylum is singular, phyla is plural. Okay, so we are using the word phyla here. So 3 subphyla we have for this chordate. So Urochordata, Cephalochordata, and Vertebrata. Okay, Vertebrata. So these are the 3 subphyla of chordates. So we will see one by one all these 3 subphyla's characters. Urochordata. So Urochordata and Cephalochordata, they are considered, and together they are known as Protochordata. Okay, Protochordata means they have this backbone, but not as developed as the backbone which you see in the vertebrata. Okay, we have three subphyla: Urochordata, Cephalochordata, and Vertebrata. So vertebrata are those organisms which have a well-developed backbone. So though Urochordata and Cephalochordata, though they are included in chordata, but their backbones are not well developed. It's a primitive notochord or primitive backbone. Okay, not that well developed. So that's why Urochordata and Cephalochordata, they are referred to as what? Protochordata. Okay, both are referred to as protochordata or protochordates. Now we will see Urochordata, they are marine dwellers, exclusively marine dwellers. They are found only in marine. Okay, and the larva, this notochord, is present only in larval stage, and that also in larval tail. Okay, when we know that some organisms they develop indirectly, some develop directly. Directly means those who give birth to their exact same looking young ones. Okay, like we human beings give birth to our exact same looking young ones, whereas some they give birth to egg, then from that egg larva comes, then from that larva pupa comes or adult comes. So several stages in their development, that is indirect. So Urochordata also are those organisms which goes through indirect development, so that means they will have larva. So in their larva tail only the notochord is present. Okay, so that's why they are protochordata. Now example of Urochordata are Ascidia. The diagram of Ascidia is there in your textbook. Salpa. All the examples diagrams are not given. So if you are interested, you can look to how Salpa looks like in whatever phylum we have gone through, all the examples which we have seen, all the examples diagram is not there in your textbook. So if you are interested, you can look in introduct how this Salpa looks like, how the other organisms looks like, which diagram is not given in the textbook. Otherwise it is not necessary, it's fine. But for your better knowledge, you can go for it. Okay, Salpa and Doliolum. These are examples of Urochordata. Then comes Cephalochordata. So Cephalochordatas are also exclusively marine. You will find them in marine, and their notochord are present from head to tail. Head to tail it is present, and it is present throughout life. Like in Urochordata, it is only during the larval stage this notochord will be present, whereas in Cephalochordata, this notochord will be present throughout life. Okay? So example are branchiostoma, known as Amphioxus or landslide. We call Amphioxus or landslide. Okay. Now we'll come to vertebrata, the last one. Vertebrata, where the notochord is present in embryonic stage, okay, and this notochord gets replaced by more stronger and durable cartilaginous backbone, okay, cartilaginous or bony vertebral column we see. Okay, so during their embryonic stage, that means when they are inside mother's womb, during embryonic stage they have notochord. Okay, but when they become adult, so in the adult, this notochord gets replaced by bony, more stronger, okay, bony vertebral column. which we call backbone in our regular usage of term. We call backbone, but biologically we call it bony vertebral column. Okay, so that's why they are known as vertebrata. Okay, so backbone or notochord, when they develop into more stable form, it is called vertebral column. So that's why the term is known as vertebrata. So we call invertebrates and vertebrates. Invertebrates means those organisms who don't have vertebral column. So that means from phylum Porifera to phylum Hemichordata, they don't have vertebral column. Whereas vertebrata, all these organisms which we are going to see, they have vertebral column. So vertebrate and invertebrates. Vertebrates having vertebral column. Invertebrates, they don't have vertebral column. Okay. So we'll see some basic characters of vertebrata. Which is present in all the class of vertebrata. Okay. So all vertebrates are, first character is, all vertebrates are chordates. Yeah, we are learning chordata now, phylum Chordata. So this vertebrata comes under the phylum Chordata. Okay, like cephalochordate and urochordate, they also come under phylum Chordata. So likewise, vertebrata also come under the chordata. So all vertebrates are chordates, and they have ventral muscular heart with 2 to 4 chambers. Ventral muscular heart means all the chordates, they have muscular heart. Our heart is made up of muscles, and ventral means front part of the body. Heart is not present in the back, but here the front part, ventral part. Okay. So kidney for excretion. Okay. For excretion and osmoregulation, for maintaining the fluid and the salt level. Osmoregulation. Okay, and it has paired appendages. Generally, all the vertebrates will have paired appendages. So, these appendages can be fins, paired fins, or limbs. In our case, we have limbs, and in case of cats and cattle and other mammals, it has limbs. Okay, birds also have limbs. Alright, so some exceptional cases you will see snakes, they don't have limbs. Okay, they don't have neither limbs nor fins. Okay, snakes, they are exceptional. Alright, and whereas rest all the vertebrates, see, snake come on the vertebrate only, but they don't have limbs and fins. But rest all the vertebrates, they will have either fins, paired fins, or limbs. So these are the common basic characteristic of the vertebrata. Okay. So now in page number 56 you will find a flow chart. In page number 56 you will find a flow chart, and that flow chart will help you understand how the class of the vertebrates are divided. Okay. So we'll see the vertebrates have 2 divisions. Agnatha are those vertebrates who lacks jaws. They don't have jaws. Okay, and then we have Gnathostomata. Okay, Gnathostomata, they have jaws. Jaws, you know, right? These are our jaws. By the help of jaws, we can open our mouth and close our mouth. Okay, if we don't have jaws, we cannot open or close our mouth. Okay, to trap the prey or to eat the food. So vertebratas are now divided into 2 divisions. Agnatha and Gnathostomata. Under Agnatha we have class Cyclostomata. This is class number 1 under Agnatha, Cyclostomata. Okay, and under Gnathostomata we have 2 superclass. We have 2 superclass, that is Pisces and Tetrapoda. Tetrapoda means having 4 legs. Okay, having 4 legs. Pisces have fins and Tetrapoda has limbs. Okay, it has limbs. So Pisces have 2 classes. That will be class number. See, under the vertebrata, this is first class. This will be second class. Chondrichthyes. Okay, chondrichthyes and osteichthyes. Alright. Under Tetrapoda we have several classes again, which we will consider class number 4. That is Amphibia. Okay, Reptilia, Aves, and Mammals. So total we have 7 classes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All these are classes of vertebrate. But these classes are again divided into several superclass and division. You should remember, from 2 to 7, all the classes comes under Gnathostomata. They have jaws. From here to here, all the classes of animals, they have jaws. And only this animal, they don't have jaws, which comes under Agnatha. Okay? And this group of classes have fins, where this group of classes have limbs. Tetrapoda superclass, Pisces superclass. Now we'll start with number 1 class, Cyclostomata. Okay, what are Cyclostomata? They are generally ectoparasites. Ectoparasites means like how we were discussing about the parasite. What parasite? Parasite tapeworm. Yes, tapeworm. It is endoparasite. They are found inside the host body. So ectoparasite will be parasite which are found outside the host body. So if this is a parasite, it will remain attached outside. So lice in our head and ticks in the bodies of your pets. So they are ectoparasite. They attach to the skin of the host body and suck the blood. Right? So they are ectoparasites. So Cyclostomata, they are generally ectoparasite and they have elongated body. With 6 to 15 pairs of gill slits. You can see the diagram, okay, of Cyclostomata in your textbook. Elongated body. Their body is elongated like this. Alright, and they have gill slits here. And since they are Cyclostomata, they don't have jaw. Okay, so mouth will be round shape. Okay, elongated body, and they have sucking circular mouth. Sucking circular mouth. With no jaws. So they don't have jaws, as they are under Agnatha. Okay, so they have sucking circular mouth here with no jaws, and their skin don't have any scales, devoid of scales. So they are aquatic. So aquatic animals, most of the aquatic animals, they have scales. So whereas this Cyclostomata, they don't have scales and they have paired fins. Here you will find fins. Okay, and they have cartilaginous cranium and vertebral column. So cranium means where the brain is located. Skull, right? So the skull is made up of cartilaginous bone, cartilaginous tissue, sorry, and then vertebral column is also made up of, here they will have backbone. So this backbone in their body will be made up of cartilage. Cartilage is one of the connective tissue which you have learned in class 9, right? So cartilage, so we call cartilaginous cranium and cartilaginous vertebral column. So their circulatory system is closed. Circulatory system is closed circulatory system. Okay? And they are exclusively marine, we know. But when they spawn, okay, while spawning, that means for laying the eggs, they come to fresh water. And after laying the eggs, they die there. Okay? So, but for spawning, they reach out for fresh water, okay, and die after spawning. So their larva, which grows, they lay egg in this fresh water. So in that fresh water, the eggs will then develop into larva, and that larva will go through metamorphosis and develop into adult, and this adult will find their way to the marine water. Okay, they will go from fresh water to marine water. So example of this Cyclostomata are Petromyzon. The diagram is given in your textbook, Petromyzon diagram, which we also call lamprey. And then Myxine, we call hagfish. Okay, so these two are the example of Cyclostomata. Now, next we will see the second class, Chondrichthyes. Chondrichthyes. So, chondrichthyes are marine dwelling, streamlined body, and cartilaginous endoskeleton. That means they have bones inside. They have bone inside, and those bones are made up of cartilage. Cartilaginous endoskeleton. Streamlined body means tapering at the front. Pointed at the front and tapering in the middle, and again pointed at the back. So here this part is tapering, and here pointed, the end part of the body is pointed. So that is how the fish are, right? All the fish are like this. So this type of body organization is called streamlined body. Okay, the previous Cyclostomata which we have drawn, it was not like this. That was just an elongated, like a long body. So this is called streamlined body. Then they have ventrally located mouth. Now, chondrichthyes will have jaws, right? Because it comes under comes under the which superclass? It comes under the superclass Pisces. Okay, and Pisces comes under Nephrostomata. So they have jaws. So ventrally located mouth. Mouth is ventrally located, and then they have notochord present. Obviously, since they are vertebrate, notochord will be there. Notochord is present. and gill slits will be there, because the fundamental character of chordata is to have gill slits. Pharyngeal gill slits should be there. Notochord should be there. If notochord and gill slits are not present, so they don't come under chordata. Okay, these are the basic characteristics they should have. So gill slits have a cover. Gill slits with operculum. Operculum means a cover. Alright, they have gill slits with a cover. And they have a tough skin with minute placoid scales. Minute placoid scales. Now, how is this placoid scale? So, if this is a chondrichthyes fish, so their scales will be somewhat pointy like this. Very tough. They are staked. Each and every scale is staked in that manner that the scale is very tough. Okay, so this is how the placoid scale will look like in the body. That's why it has a tough skin. And their teeth is modified. Modified teeth they have. The teeth is modified to a placoid scale. Okay, and backwardly directed. Now, for powerful jaws, you can imagine. Suppose if I am making a jaw here. Okay. This is a jaw of a fish. Alright. And here the teeth is converted into a placoid scale and in backward direction. So if the teeth is in backward direction, it means it has a powerful jaw to trap a prey, right? Okay. So teeth is modified to a placoid scale, plate-like, and in backward direction. So it becomes a very powerful jaw. And since they have this kind of powerful jaw, so they are very predaceous in nature. They are actually predators. Okay, we'll see their example. They are predators. And no air bladder. You must have seen fish. When you cut out the fish, you will find an air sac-like structure like balloon-like structure inside the fish body. So that balloon, when I was kid, I used to think that is their lungs. Okay, but of course fish, they don't have lungs. So that is actually the air bladder which keeps them floating in the water. It provides the buoyancy and it keeps them floating. Whereas this chondrichthyes, they don't have this air bladder. They don't have this balloon-like structure. So they don't experience buoyancy. They don't get extra help of floating in the water. So that's why they need to constantly keep swimming. Okay, so constant swimming is required, otherwise what will happen? They will sink and they will drown, they will die. So that's why they need to constantly swim. Okay, and their heart is two-chambered heart, one auricle, one ventricle. Okay, their heart is two-chambered heart, one auricle, one ventricle. And some of the chondrichthyes, they possess special organs. We will see that special organs, that electric organ. And poison sting. So you must have heard of electric eel, the eelfish which generates electricity. So if you touch, you will get a very high voltage of current and you might faint also. Okay, so electric organs are present in torpedoes. Those fish are called torpedoes, and poison stings you will find in trigon. Trigons are stingrays. So chondrichthyes are cold-blooded animals. Cold-blooded animals are also known as poikilotherms. They are known as poikilotherms. What does cold-blooded means? Cold-blooded means those organisms which cannot maintain their body's temperature according to the surrounding temperature. If the surrounding temperature changes, they cannot maintain their body temperature. Their body's temperature also changes. So changing of body temperature is very dangerous. Right? An individual will not survive if the body temperature keeps on changing. So we human beings, we are mammals, we can maintain the body's temperature. So that's why we are warm-blooded. Okay, mammals are warm-blooded. So we can maintain the body's temperature no matter outside how cold it is, how hot it is. If we cannot maintain, then we can die. People die out of cold, people die out of heat. So it is because when they stop maintaining their body's temperature. Okay, so the other group of animals, they are cold-blooded, which means that they cannot maintain their body's temperature with the surrounding temperature. So that's why when the surrounding temperature becomes extreme, then they go for hibernation, they go for estivation. Okay, or they migrate. They move from one place to other place. They migrate. So cold-blooded. Now in chondrichthyes, sexes are separate. That means they are unisexual. So obviously they will need a mate partner for reproduction, and their fertilization is internal, means the male will release the male gamete inside the female body, and the fertilization will take place inside the female body. And they are viviparous. Viviparous means they give birth to young ones. Alright, and male has clasper in the pelvic fins. So in case of male, they have clasper. Clasper is the reproductive organ. Like how in human being, penis is a reproductive organ. Okay, so by that organ, the male gametes are inserted inside the female body. Like that, male. In chondrichthyes, male has clasper. Okay, that reproductive organ. Male has clasper in pelvic fins. So if this is, let me draw. So if this is chondrichthyes, okay. So here is the pelvic bones. Pelvic fins are here. So this pelvic fins will have this organ called clasper, and with the help of this clasper, they will insert the male gamete inside the female body. Okay. So examples are Spoliodon, which we call dogfish. Dogfish are very small in size, and if you see, this fish looks like shark, like a small shark. Okay, dogfish. And pristis. Pristis are called sawfish also. Pristis diagram is there in the textbook, you can see. Carcharodon. Now you will be surprised to know what Carcharodon is. Carcharodon is shark. Okay, great white shark. Great white shark. And Trigon is a stingray. Okay, then we'll come to the third class, that is osteichthyes. Osteichthyes class. So this group of pieces, okay, osteichthyes and chondrichthyes, osteichthyes and chondrichthyes, they come under the superclass pieces, under Gnathostomata, right? Pieces. So pieces are, all the organisms which we call, in our language, we generally call them fish. Like we call shark also fish. we call dolphin also fish, right? But they are all of different classes. Dolphin comes under mammal, different class. Okay. So osteichthyes are those group of aquatic animals which are found in marine also and in freshwater also. You'll find osteichthyes in marine water and freshwater, and they have bony endoskeleton. So their skeleton is not made up of cartilage. Remember, connective tissues are of three types: blood, cartilage, bones. Right? So here previously we have seen cartilage endoskeleton, skeleton made up of cartilage. Now here skeleton endoskeleton is made up of bones. Bone is endoskeleton and their body is a streamlined body. In the previous chondrichthyes I have explained you what streamlined means, and mouth is terminal. Mouth is terminal. Now mouth is ventral, mouth is terminal. What does it mean? See, it means if this is a body and here is the mouth. Oh, here my fish is smiling, you can see. So if this is a body and mouth is somewhere here, it is called ventral. Okay? Whereas if this is a body and mouth is here, okay? So these two fish looks very funny, but I think you'll understand better by this diagram that ventrally located mouth means like this, and this is terminal. Okay? Terminal located mouth. So previously we have seen chondrichthyes. In chondrichthyes, mouth are ventrally located. So in chondrichthyes example, we have seen great white shark, where the mouth is ventrally below. Okay, not in the front. So you must have, you know how shark looks like, how they open their mouth. Okay, stingray also they have their mouth ventral, not in the front, not in the terminal. But other fishes you will see that mouth is like this in the front, terminal. Then they have 4 pairs of gills covered by operculum. Operculum is a cover, okay, which covers the gills. Because when they need to breathe, this operculum will open, so water will pass through these gills. And once the breathing in happens, the gills will close. So gills opens and close, and that covering is known as operculum. Skin is covered by cycloid and ctenoid scales. So we have seen how placoid scales are like this. Placoid scales. So cycloid scales are like this. Some fish have scales like this. Cycloid scales. And ctenoid scales are somewhat like this. Okay? In some fish you will find the scales are like this. So they have air bladder. So that's why it provides them buoyancy, and if they don't swim, they will not sink and die. Okay, so they can rest. But the chondrichthyes, they don't have air bladder, so that's why they need to constantly swim. All right, constantly swim. And heart is 2-chambered, 1 auricle, 1 ventricle. They are cold-blooded, and sexes are separate. That means unisexual, but in this case the fertilization is external. That means they release the gamete. The male will release the gamete outside, female will release the gamete outside in the water, and fertilization will take place outside, not inside the body. Okay, and they are oviparous. So egg, after fertilization, it will convert into egg, and the development is direct. From egg they develop directly into fish. Okay, so like how birds, the development is direct. So from egg, when the egg hatches, it does not give birth to larva, it directly give birth to chicks, so which are similar to their mother hens, right? So from egg, if it comes larva then adult, it is indirect development. From egg, if it directly comes to the adult like structure, so it is direct development, giving birth to young ones. Now examples, there are several examples we will see. Marine example, freshwater example and aquarium. We will see all. Some marine osteichthyes are exocoitus and hippocampus. Exocoitus is also known as flyfish, and hippocampus are also known as seahorse. Okay, seahorse. Freshwater, Labiorohita is a roe fish which you generally eat, and Katla and Clarius. Clarius is the marble fish. And aquarium fish are Betta and Pterophyllum. There's an angel fish. The white color fish you see in the aquarium, the white color fish with big fins, which looks like angel, so they are Pterophyllum. So here we conclude for today's class. Okay, we are left with 4 more classes. 4 more classes means not the video classes. I'm talking about these classes. Okay, so from amphibia, reptilia, aves and mammals. Okay, it will take only 15 to 20 minutes of that video, which I'll complete it and I'll upload it in the same day when I'll upload the notes. Okay, so tomorrow we will have tomorrow will be Saturday. Alright, so Saturday I'll upload this short video which will complete the 4 classes. Okay, so as we complete this chapter, do revise, because this chapter entire portions are included, nothing is excluded. So do revise, and when I give you practice paper, sincerely do it and upload it in the group. Okay, so please study well, and we will of course we'll be always meeting in Google Meet for discussing, and we will have every week Tuesday CE test, so be prepared for this test also. Okay, thank you and have a good day ahead.